Hey crafty friends, it's Christina. Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, October 27th, and we're on Flosstube number 9. Before we even jump into today's video, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of you who subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. We hit 50,000 subscribers just a few weeks ago and just slightly over now, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. So today we are going to be talking all about Flosstube. I have not posted or filmed a Flosstube video since June, so we need to get caught up. So today's going to be a little bit of a longer video because I have 3 fully finished, 2 finished, things that I've worked on late spring, early summer, and what I'm working on right now. So we have a lot to share. Plus, I have a little bit of a haul. I'm experimenting with 40 count fabric. So I did a little bit of a haul for 40 count fabric. And I'm also experimenting with making my own project beds. So I also bought some fall and a little bit of Christmas fabric. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's dive into today's video. We're going to go through my fully finished projects. Now they go from summer right to fall, but I do have 2 other finished projects that are not fully finished. So we're going to go over those. The first one is the Grand Old Flag 2 by Brenda Gervais. I shared that in my last video. I had 1 pillow completely done last year. I wanted to stitch the other 2 for this year, but they just were not fully finished when I shared them. Now they're fully finished. So it's a little throwback here, but this is the fully finished of the 2nd and 3rd pillow. I originally did them with the cording on the side, but I did not have any more of the blue or enough blue to go around 2 of them. And I lost the little tab to tell me what the number was in DMC. So I decided to just go ahead and do a rickrack around the sides of it. I do have the same fabric and I just loved how they came out. Just details. I do not remember what the fabric is. Blue Heron is the blue that I used for this. And this one particular didn't take me very long to stitch at all. This one was a little bit of work because of all the red and all the counting that had to get done. So that is my first fully finished. I don't want to go on about this one too much because I did talk about it in my last video if you want to check it out, because I did have them finished then. So for this year, I wanted to start right in the middle of August after I finished another project that I started in the summer. I wanted to jump into fall and Halloween. I do have one thing fall started, but I really started the fall and then decided I better get cracking on Halloween since it was already the middle of September by the time I made that decision. So I decided to do something really simple. Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, I did the Ghost and Goblins pillow last year, and I have that on display, but I wanted to give it a little partner, so I decided that I was just going to do something really simple, something that if I didn't stitch anything else Halloween this year, at least I would have something completed, and that would be Broomhilda. Broomhilda is completed. I did stitch her on 40 count flax. This is my kind of transition time of moving into 40 count fabric, and I'm having a grand old time with it. I do still kind of prefer 36 count, but that is Broomhilda. She is stitched on 40 count flax. I have her mounted inside. If you're a paper crafter, you know who Tim Holtz is. This is one of his little box sets that he has. There's 3 boxes in it. I got this on clearance at Joann's when it was going out of business, and then just added a little bow to the top. Very simple. I thought if I do anything, at least I get 1 Halloween themed project done before Halloween, but turns out I was able to get 2. I started and couldn't stop stitching when pumpkins glow. I had so much fun with this. This is a Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread pattern. I used for mine 36 count light hazelnut by Extrude Design for my fabric. If you stitched it on 40 count, you could get the Chantel 141 design board and mount it onto there, but because I went with 36 count means it was a little bit bigger. And I love the way it came out. I love it on this kind of yellowy hazelnut kind of color. I loved it. At first I was thinking about doing something a little bit different, but whenever I look at the white for the shirt, it was just too close in color. So I had to go something with a little bit more color to it. And that is how it turned out. Again, I used light hazelnut, extrude design in 36 count, all the called for colors, and I had a lot of fun stitching this one. This was like an exclusive stitch for 2 weeks. I just couldn't put it down. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't know how I was going to mount it, but I was at Hobby Lobby and they had a frame, this frame. It was on clearance. It had a clearance sticker on it, and it had a three photo mat inside of it, but it was 6x10, and 6x10 was like going to be perfect for this. So that is what I decided to go with. I did the 6x10. I do have a little bit of a swoop down here in the corner that I just need to take it out and play with the fabric just to get it so that it's not swooping down in the bottom. But at least I have another fall or Halloween themed project done. So that is it for my fully finished projects for right now. I'm going to show you my finished projects. I have 2 finished projects. This is the one that I worked on all summer. It was This Land by Shakespeare Peddler, and I had fun doing this one. What I really liked about this one is how creative they were to use fabric to make the frame work for their project. I loved that, and I think that's what made me fall in love with this one. I will tell you, it did take, I think I started this in June and I never finished it until the middle of August. And I just stitched on that. And I only sat for maybe an hour or two here and there, or took it with me when we were at the lake. And sometimes I would only stitch on it for maybe a half an hour. I love this. I love it. It is gorgeous. Now, do I have the information about what I stitched it on? No. Let me go and grab that. I had to go find out what fabric I used. So this is 40 count Overcast by Count on Linen. That is what I used for my fabric, and I really like this color. It's not a too dark of a color, it's not too bright or light of a color. It did make, I was able to get my whites to stand out. I have a hard time, I think it bothers me the most when my whites kind of blend in too much with my fabric. So that is one finished, and I had a lot of fun with this one. Here are the threads for it. I did use all of my called for colors, and I just love this color scheme. Very patriotic, and it was all like DMC. There was Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, and Weeks Dye Works. So that is that one. Okay, so I am going to share with you what I've been working on. I do have some things that I worked on in the beginning of the year that I haven't really been back to yet, and I can't remember if I shared it with you before. I do know I shared this one with you. This is Teresa Kogut. It's Folk Art Garden, and when I started it on the 40 count in the dark soil fabric, and it was just really hard for me to see. It's too small. Even with cheaters and a magnifying glass, I could not see it. It's the dark fabric my eyes don't agree with it. But I did get it in the dark fabric in 36 count, and I was able to get some of it started. So this is started, and I love the colors on this, and I will definitely be working on this some more in the future. But I just wanted to share that I did get it started. 40 count was just too much for my eyes. 36 count in the dark colors work perfectly for me. So that was that one. I am using all of the called for colors, which looks like I have an extra one there. It looks like it's all Weeks Dye Works. It is all Weeks Dye Works, and there's no DMC or any other. So I really enjoy the colors on this one, and we'll get back to this one very soon. So another one I started in the spring, thinking I would get it done during the summer, but then did the This Land one instead, is My Home Sweet Home. This is Brenda Jarvet. I have a lot of Brenda Jarvet to share. With a needle and thread, I started stitching this on 40 count flax, and I got the corner done. So this is one, I probably will put this away for this year and then bring it out maybe in the spring next year. I'm using all of the called for colors. I have Weeks Dye Works, DMC, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks. And there was no substitutions on this one. So everything is, the called for colors. Love the color scheme. Very spring, summer colors. Very pretty. Love the little strawberries on here. So I'm looking forward to getting back to this one. But right now I'm in a fall and Christmas theme. So I'm probably not going to pick this one up again until next year. Let's talk about some current stitching. First, this is a project bag I made. So last year I attempted to make my own project bag and I did it and I have it here. You'll see it. But you could definitely see the difference between a current project bag and an older project bag. But this one, I only regret I have is that I wish I used a different color thread. I just went with what was in my machine, which is just white, and I kind of regret not taking the time and deciding about what color thread to use. But this is the bag I made. I don't remember what fabric this is. I'm sure I could probably find it, and I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. But it was kind of a recent purchase. So this is my fall project bag for the project that I started in September and was stitching it, and then I decided that I needed to stop stitching it and start thinking about doing Halloween stuff because I was just really excited about fall. Even though it was 80 degrees outside where I live, I was really excited about fall. So I started this one. It's Teresa Kogut. I love fall. I started it, and one of the reasons why I put it down was because I wasn't 100% sure. This is stitched, the example is stitched on 40 count. I didn't go with 40 count. I went with 36 count because that's what I had. I used a 36 count vintage country white, I think is what it's called. And this is the stitch I started. And at first, when I was stitching this, I wasn't completely happy with it. I was debating whether just to get a 40 count and stitch it on a 40 count. But now that I pulled it out of the bag, because I pulled this out earlier and was looking at it, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I was being a little rough on myself. So I think I am going to finish this up just the way it is. Love this. I love the scarecrow. He needs his eyes. I got to put those eyes in because those white no eyes is kind of freaking me out a little bit. So I got to get those put in there because it's just weird. But this is the pattern. I used all of the called for thread on this one. There's a lot of DMC. There's Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. Very beautiful fall palette. Love this color, the color scheme on this. So very pretty. When I switched over to doing more of a Halloween, that's when I did the Broomhilda as a one to get done before Halloween. So I was glad to get that done. Surprised that I was able to get the When Every Pumpkin Glows done before Halloween. Okay, this is my very first project bag, so please don't judge it. I just used scrap fabric that I had, which was just some cheap fabric that I picked up at Joann's in a fat quarter and a zipper. This was the very first time I've ever sewn a zipper. I was pretty pleased. It came out better on this one than it did on my fall one I just showed you, but I love this. It was, even though it's, it's got permanent lines in it, it was my first attempt at sewing something that was more than just a straight line to fix, a hem on a pair of pants. This is my Halloween bag for right now. And in here I have When Witches Go Riding. I purchased this last year at a needlework store in Virginia. And it was one that I was going to do last year, but I never got around to it. And this year it seems like everybody's having a blast stitching this one. So I started this not too long ago. It's not taking me very long to get it done. So let me just show you where I'm at. I have, actually the pillows, they kind of read. So you would do 1, 2, 3, and they read as a little saying. This is the first one. So When Witches Go Riding. That's the first pillow. I got that done. I'm working on the second pillow. I just started this last night. So I started this last night, and then I also finished this one last night. So this is the third pillow. I do not know why I went from the first to the third and then the second. I think because I wanted to get the letters done on this one first. So this is done. The only thing I have left to do is put the purple trim on their hats. I am not sure I like the purple that is with that was suggested. So I think I'm going to switch it out to maybe a little bit of a darker purple. This one comes off just a little bit of a bluish purple, and I think I want something a little bit darker. So this is my color palettes here. We've got DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colorworks, and Gentle Arts as the colors. So if there's a color change, it'll be the purple. That's the only thing. Otherwise, very beautiful. Well, these two colors for the skin tone throw me off as far as fall colors. So I'm going to take those to the side. And then when I put this together, does that not just scream? Very Halloweenish. Love that. These two colors just throw me off because they're so light. But that's the skin tone to the witches. So that is my Halloween stitch. Now this video is being uploaded on the Monday the 27th, but it is currently Saturday the 25th, and I am going to sit and stitch this one this weekend. Even though I don't have a weekend stitcher right now, I'm going to stitch this and finish it up this weekend because I want to get these done before Halloween. If not, it can wait until next year. That's okay. So we are going to put that one aside. That's my current fall and what I'm working on for fall and Halloween. And I am starting Christmas. I did sew myself. This is a new one for me. This is a sewing experiment. I wanted to try a little bit of a quilting. I had all of this strips of fabric from Sweetwater. And I only had full of the one with the wording on it. Everything else was just pieces. And I wanted to try patchwork. That was all I was experimenting with. And doing binding. So lots of problems with this one. First of all, my binding is messed up here. Do I like binding? No, I don't like binding at all. My sewing machine, first of all, couldn't handle the thickness. Even though I have a good Juki machine, it could not handle the thickness of going around the corners. So I had to kind of like skip stitches to get it to work. It was a disaster. Do I love the way this is laid out? Yes. I have strips that are not even, only because the fabric was a piece, and I just really wanted to get it so that it was, a finished, a really nice finished quilted one, and more of experimenting to try to see what I'm capable of. On the back is just the same pattern that I have for the strip in the front and the strip in the top. And then on the inside is I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Hopefully you will. I used a fabric that has snowflakes on it. So I just used that on the inside. It might be too hard with my lighting to see. Oh, there. So you could probably see it right there. So in my bag is where I have my Christmas swan. I have not done any. I believe there's other swan patterns, but this is the only one I've done. I was torn between this one and another one, which I will show you in a second, which I didn't start yet, but I'll just show it to you. I decided to start this one. Now, this one has beads. I don't know if I'm going to do the beads. I'd have to go and buy them. I'm not 100% sure. I do put now, as a new thing for me, I made these little project details cards so I could put them in the package. For this one, I did start with a 36 count paperback linen by Fox and Rabbit. And I didn't like it. The color was, again, too close to the white. So I had done a little order of some 40 count fabric, and I bought raw linen plus a whole bunch of others, which I'll show you. So I have more 40 count fabric. I only have like 3, before I placed this order, I only had 3 or 4 different 40 count fabrics. So this is my start. However, I have to rip some of it out. I have to frog it. So I'm going to have to go up all the way to like the 3rd or 4th line. I accidentally added a whole row over here. So I need to get that ripped out, which I am working on probably this week. This is going to be one that I'm going to kind of stitch on a regular. And then I have my fabric or my thread here. I'm using the called for Weeks Dye Works, DMC, and Classic Colorworks. So beautiful winter Christmassy themed color palette for this one, and I am looking forward to working on it. Just need to kind of almost start over because this is actually frustrating because I started it on the 36 count and got probably to just about the same spot. decided I was going to do it on 40 count and messed it up, and now I have to start over. So it's almost like I'm starting it 3 times, but that's okay. Once I get going, I will be fine. It's just a matter of getting that started. Okay, so my next is one that I didn't start, but the one that I was kind of debating. Wow, try that again. Debating on doing, and that is Let It Snow. I got this last year, didn't start it yet, but I did pull out my fabric. Again, I'm going to use the flax on this one for the 40 count flax. No, this is raw. Sorry, 40 count raw. And then I have all of my thread ready to go. This is my DMC collection here. And then I have my specialty Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks on my ring here. I just need to get the DMC done. Like I said, I am going to use this on 40 count raw linen, and hopefully we'll get this started soon, but I have a feeling that I probably will stop and start, or probably won't work on this. This is my prediction. I won't work on this because my other ones that I ordered for Christmas time for Brenda Gervais are probably going to come in the meantime. So that is it as far as what I am working on. I thought I would share with you also a quick haul video, or add a little haul to this to show you what I've ordered with my 40 count fabric that I did order so I can build my 40 count fabric collection. This first one is Chocolate Milk by Fabric by Stephanie. I ordered from Hollis Hand Create on Etsy, and I just love this one. It comes off a little darker on my camera, but it is a beautiful color, and I ordered this just to have some additional colors that I can play with when I am stitching. Again, this is all just because I wanted to build up my collection, because I only had 3 or 4 and they were pretty dark colors. The rest of these come from Lindy Stitches. This one is country or 40 count Milk and Honey, which I believe I have this in 32 count. So I got it in 40. Love the colors on this one. The marbling is just gorgeous. So this I got, if I didn't mention, it is by Fiber on a Whim, and it's the 40 count Milk and Honey. The next one is Vellum by Picture This Plus. Beautiful. I love the marbling on this one. It comes off a little bit, it's got a little bit of a green tone to it, but love this. Love it, love it, love it. So that one is a 40 count. I also picked up, and I apologize, I do not know how to say this. It's Rhyolite? I don't know. By Weeks Dye Works. It's got a little bit of a pink to it, I feel, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I can't even describe it, best maybe like a potato sack kind of bag. Maybe, I don't know. This one is called Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. Love this one. Gorgeous, like greenish gray tone with a little bit of a backer. It's a little bit of like a blue tone to it too. I love this. More gray. I think it comes off more green in person, but it's kind of more gray on camera. This is just a gorgeous color. Again, all from Lindy Stitches. Then this one is by Antique Lace. I don't know who this is by. It doesn't have it on here. I'd have to go and look it up. I will look it up and I'll put it on the screen. But this one is Antique Lace. Love the marbling on this one too. Gorgeous. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. Then I also have this one by Fiber on a Whim. This is called Cream and Sugar. I do also have this in 32 count. Gorgeous marbling on this one as well. On camera, it comes off a little bit more yellow than in person, but it is beautiful, beautiful fabric. And then the last one is is another one. It's the raw fabric that I ordered and been using for my 2 Christmas stitches, or the 1 Christmas stitch and the 1 plain Christmas stitch. I just left it in the bag because it's cut up. So I have a lot of fabric from Joann's that I picked up for my embroidery machine if I'm doing any kind of patchwork or applique. But I really didn't have anything that's great for doing sewing projects. So I've been slowly, over the last few months building that collection. So I thought I'd share with you what I just recently purchased. This came from Fig Tree and Company. I was on their website just looking at their patterns, and I saw a pattern for a candle and mug, a pumpkin candle and mug, or I think it is. I'll leave a picture of it on the screen because the only thing I have is the pattern, and I don't want to put that out. But I will leave the picture of the pattern on the screen, a picture of the artwork for the pattern. But I did, while I was on there, fell in love with this fabric. So this is by Fig Tree and Company. Love this line. I do not know what the name of the line is for this one, the fabric line, but I just think it's gorgeous, and it was going to be perfect for what I was going to stitch. And then I just picked up another bundle that they had available that has a lot of light colors in it that would be great for making backers for project bags, trying out that candle and mug holder that mat that I wanted to try. So I have that here as well. So like I said, am building up my fabric collection. I'm getting a little bit more confident with sewing, so I want to, to try more. So I did place an order with Fat Quarter Shop as well for some fabric. And I, again, fell in love with this Fig Tree fabric from this one particular pattern. It's called Agatha Road. And I love this. And I thought this would make a great charm pack for making myself a quilted block style project bag. And then I decided to buy some fabric that I can use for lining and backing. So this is also from the Agatha Road collection. So I have this fabric right here, which is gorgeous. I love that tan. It happens to be that color that's right on the top here. I have this orange one. And then I bought this one, which is would be great for the lining of the bag. So I did get those. I also purchased from Fat Quarter Shop a little bit of a Christmas theme. This is Berry Pine in the Charm Pack, and it's got some beautiful Christmas colors. I love the little music notes in here. We've got, pine and polka dots and flowers and Christmas trees and so much in this one, poinsettias. And then I also bought, and I'm going to kind of hold my hands over the top of it because my camera gets a little, see, it starts to make my camera wig out. So the pattern on it. So I bought 2 half yards of this pattern that goes with this Berry and Pine collection. And I bought it because it's very neutral, but I can also use it for backing and lining as well for my project bags. This one's mainly going to be used for project bag. Then the other one that I purchased is by French General. It's Sacre Bleu. And I bought this one in the charm pack. And then I also bought the Fat Quarter pack. I couldn't resist. I love this pack, these blues. These blues are definitely, I am a blue person. I love blue. And I just love it where I just had to buy this whole pack. So we have lots of neutral colors in here. I've got lots of, solids with some small patterns on it. It's just some gorgeous, gorgeous colors in here that I could not resist. So I'm going to use this as my patchwork for my bag. And then I have plenty to pick from for a backing and a lining for a project bag. I had a lot to share, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Like I said, we did hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'm super excited. I thank you for subscribing and following along and watching my videos, and I appreciate it. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.